I'm going to be talking to you about Hesperia Unified School District. This is a map of the area, spans from Highway 18 up to about Bear Valley Road in the high desert. Our school board consists of Nicole Peterson, Mary Kittinger, Ella Rogers, Eric Swanson, and Cody Gregg. Nicole Peterson is the president, and Eric Swanson is the vice president. So there's a lot of different people that make up Hesperia Unified. 3 comprehensive high schools, 15 elementary schools, bunch of different areas. So Dave Olney is the current superintendent. He was put into that position last year with Assistant Superintendent Jovian Cascas. Both of these people have grown with the district, have had kids in the district, have worked and taught in the district. That's one of the positive things about Hesperia is most of these people have been teachers or worked in the district and built their way up, so they have really strong ties to the community. The district focus areas are student support, parent, student, and community engagement, high quality, authentic classroom instruction and curriculum, professional development and learning for teachers and educators, to increase proficiency of all students, having safe and orderly school environments for students and staff, and academic, social, and emotional and behavioral supports and interventions for their students. Essentially, it's the same as most districts in preparing today's students for tomorrow's world through technology and cultural awareness. So some of the focuses continued are really diving into those professional learning communities, the 4 C's, which you'll see across all school campuses. They are really trying to focus in and implement these critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and creativity for teachers as well as students. Having specific units of study, project-based learning, and implementing state standards. According to the LCAP, the main needs of the district are to improve suspension rates, which are relatively high considering it's a small district and they're pretty high above average amount, comparing to the state of California. To improve English language arts and math grades, to raise academic support, create health services, and increase support staff. Currently, these 2 are a really big focus that you can see in all schools. A lot of classrooms have at least one aide that are helping the teacher because of the student behavior issues that you'll see. Also, just helping students with that extra support that they may need. The 3 main goals of the district are to provide high-quality classroom instructions, to provide a physically and emotionally safe climate, and to involve parents, families, and community stakeholders in the education of all students. The overall budget for 2017-2018 was $226,492,336. The makeup of the district in 2016-17, that was the current one I could find, was 23,844 students, with the average daily attendance being about 20,000 to just over. Free and reduced lunch was 16,353, and the SPED students making up the specific district and county classes were 1,877 students. So the ELs are gaining proficiency, although there are more ELs in the area. A lot of them are either proficient or advanced. They still need just a little bit of help. And the reported average class size is 25 to 26 to 1, which I have experience that says otherwise. Being a substitute, I've had classes with up to 55 students, not in PE. So in English and like a sculpture class and math, their classes are pretty big. So I think that's because a lot of the teachers have aides now or other people helping, which is nice for those classes, but there's definitely a need across all areas for more teachers in this district. And then the educational options are on the rise since 2014 and 15, and then 5 specific charter schools are currently being governed by Hesperia. So this is the list of elementary schools, Crystal, Mesquite, and Topaz being the highest ranking elementary schools. And the secondary schools. So we got Cedar, Hesperia, and Ranchero as the middle schools. Oak Hills, Sultana, Hesperia as the 3 comprehensive high schools. Canyon Ridge, Mojave, Shadow Ridge, and Community Day School. Those are all alternative high schools. And then there's also the Career and Adult Education Center. And then this is a list of the 5 charter schools that are tied to Hesperia Unified, which Laverne Elementary being another one of the really high performing schools in the area. This is an image of the school breakdown by type and enrollment by grade. And then, as I was speaking to earlier, um, the EL students are being more proficient, but there is still an increase in them, as well as the ethnic diversity going down, which the primary languages and the primary demographic makeup of Hesperia being Hispanic or Spanish speaking students. So, according to the Smarter Balance, a lot of the students are in English language arts are under nearly met or not met for the ELA tests. And then for math, we can see that even higher ranking of not met and nearly met standards. So, that's definitely something the district is working towards, and they understand and they recognize that they need to be working towards. A personal thing that I think that this student that Hesperia Unified needs to be working on is their performance of the physical fitness exam. So students are ranking high in the trunk extension and flexibility, which is pretty normal, especially in younger students. But when you look at the body composition, aerobic capacity, and the upper body strength of 5th and 7th graders, it's pretty low. And then when you jump to high school, it's really low, which is kind of normal. But what can we be doing to implement better strategies for that? Also looking at the students at a health risk, which is a positive. It's lowering in 5th, 7th, and 9th grade, and the aerobic capacity is teetering pretty average. Although when you get to 9th grade, you can see these aerobic capacity kind of higher risk just because students are older, their bodies are changing, they have more time in school, different reasons. Some of the financial trends. So the budget for 2018, the estimated from 2017, and then the current budgets for those years, expenditures, and overall the financial performance of the district, it reflects through the government is relatively well. As the district completed the 2017 year, the funds reported a combined balance of 83 million, which was above last year's of 71. And the primary cause of this was the proceedings from equipment leases that they had. Currently, they are looking to renegotiate for their credentialed teachers. They haven't done that for a while. Their classified staff has, so a lot of the teachers are kind of upset about that currently. Some of the specific strengths of the district are really, really high graduation rates among their alternative schools and the 3 high schools. The high school athletic teams are outstanding. Oak Hills High School has some of the best performing athletes and coaches through mostly football and wrestling, but also for cheer and baseball and things. Several students are receiving scholarships for STEM, academics, and athletics, which is really awesome for all of them. One specific thing is one of the career college counselors at Oak Hills High School was able to have a 100% acceptance rate for APU for all graduating seniors of Hesperia Unified, which is great. A lot of really passionate and encouraging staff and teachers. And then that most leadership has worked up through the district, which is positive because they know what it's like and they know that the communities that they are working with. Some of the opportunities that the district faces, which are the low performance rates in English language arts, math, and the physical fitness exam, the high suspension rates due to behavior issues, such as like fighting, drug and alcohol, bringing that to school, and then bringing weapons to schools as well. Another issue is a lot of the older schools are being neglected, such as Limesky and Mesa Grande. So there's been some mandates that the school was reporting that these schools were in fair condition. However, they're in poor condition. So the district has to go in and make those schools adequate for students to be able to attend, which is completely reasonable. When looking at the audits of 2015 through 2017, there was a lot of mistakes being made in the ASB and the district office funds. So whether that be things not being reported properly, money not getting back to the schools, no proper documentation such as receipts, money being dispersed before approved by student body, and then in the district, a lot of staff using their district cal cards for improper use and personal use. Another thing is if you stay updated with the news and things, there's been a lot of teachers been under lawsuits for um, not teachers and support staff lawsuits with students for inappropriate behavior. So definitely just keeping an eye on that, making sure that the students really are your number one priority, and then getting in really safe and supportive staff to be able to cultivate that type of experience. One of the biggest factors bearing on the district's future is that how they're overeager with funds. So reading through the budget and things for the next coming years, they have all these plans with all this money that should be coming, which is great. However, they are kind of at a deficit. They have been in deficits for previous years with their money getting away from them, spending more money than they have in their account in 3 months, for example. So something happening is the Summit Valley Housing Initiative. So in this green area, if you remember the map from before, all of these houses are being built with 8 elementary schools, 2 middle and high schools, and Hesperia is going to be absorbing all that. So just making sure that they are prepared for the increase in funds and for the exponential growth that's going to happen within in the next couple of years, pretty much being finalized by 2025. Some recommendations that I have for the district are to maintain the support of the students in their professional development. Having those is invaluable, and these students should be able to have the support that they have with these really powerful teachers. Keeping up with implementing educational advances, being on the cutting edge of when Common Core came out and Smarter Balance, everything this district is really willing to implement and try to better their students' needs, or better their students' opportunities, and then continuing to focus on the 3 main areas of high quality instruction, safety, and parent involvement. Things that I believe that they need to implement are strict, no-nonsense financial guidelines, especially with that big expansion, being able to maintain that and being able to fund that responsibly. And remove, don't move. So a lot of upper staff, when something wrong happens under their watch, they're just moved around to different departments, and then that department sees something. So maybe working with those people specifically to implement better strategies so that things don't happen that are improper. And then being able to understand troubled students. So instead of making them go to more math or more English or remedial classes, having new strategies that resonate with them and new classes that maybe they can learn something from, which is something positive that they're working on with professional development and the cross teaching. These are the references I used, Ed Data mostly, in the Unified and their district website. The 2 interviews I held were with Larry Porras and David Kane, both of which were part of my educational experience and still working with the district. Thank you.